Hello everyone, Marsh W13 here with another hotel review, and this week we are in Salt Lake City in the heart of downtown at the Hyatt Regency Hotel, Salt Lake. We booked a corner room. It is standard in every other way with the king bed. Let's say we check it out. Now we happen to be in room 2402 on the 24th floor. I believe this hotel may be 26 stories in total, so we're near the top. And of course, the Hyatt Regency is a premium brand in the Hyatt line, and we immediately see some premium features. Maybe we'll explore the bathroom first. It has this nice, heavy sliding door, but let's check it out. There's also a sliding door for the walk-in shower and sort of a rain-style head there, and pharmacopoeia bath amenities. Probably some Q-tips in there, lotion, cleansing bar, and a single basin. Not very large. Now, I recall in the early 2000s, before the advent of smart devices, particularly in places like Las Vegas, the mark of a truly luxurious hotel room was finding a TV screen embedded in the mirror. And this room has no such thing, but there's a feature that kind of harkens back to that era. Doesn't show up very well on camera, but it is the time embedded in the mirror, which is fairly cool. Standard toilet and other amenities, hair dryer, and an odd place for a mirror. Now, after exiting the bathroom and immediately to the left as you enter the room is not a closet, but much like a closet, a large open space for hanging your clothes. It looks like there are about 8 hangers, a lot of rack space, and space for storing your luggage, as well as a couple of empty drawers. Now, in this same general apparatus is a coffee maker. Doesn't look like any recognizable name brand like Keurig, but it looks like it does use Keurig pods, and so there's a selection of coffees, teas, and all the fixins. An ice bucket with genuine glasses. A fairly deep room safe, and what they advertise as a cooler that cools to 45 degrees. Will be the judge of that. But it is a mini fridge stocked with 2 bottles of Aquafina water. It says complimentary, but there's a catch. It's complimentary only for elite members, $3 for everyone else. And now, moving on to the main living area, there is a massive flat panel display mounted on the wall here by Samsung. And of course, the king bed is extremely firm, I would say. In the top, maybe 10% on the firmness scale. All fairly modern. I assume that this was relatively recently renovated. Amenities here. Looks like you can adjust the direction in which the light shines, and embedded in the wall are 2 USB-A and 2 110 volt electrical outlets. And we'll check out the other side. Similar setup here, but additional controls for lights and a cube time clock with additional outlets. Little work area here. Fooled me. I thought initially that it was going to be a rolling chair, but there are no wheels there. Fairly chic looking chair with no armrests. Small area for working. I don't see a room service menu, but actually I suppose that's what this is. I presume looks like you can order on your device, and they'll package it up in a to-go container and bring it to your room. More outlets there in the lamp. And then a small sitting area over here. I wish there were an ottoman. I think that's sorely missing here, but a relatively deep and comfortable chair here with a floor lamp and table. And perhaps we'll briefly go over some of the dining options and other amenities here at the hotel. There's sort of a continental American restaurant called the Salt Republic. There's a northern Spanish restaurant called Mar Montaña. Looks like maybe a coffee shop and a bar. There's the Market to Go, which you can visit yourself or order from your phone and it's delivered to your room. And then pool deck, Stay Fit gym, and some additional information that you may peruse. And again, we are on the corner. I believe it's the northwest corner of the hotel. Could be wrong about that, but we're certainly facing north, I believe, overall. And just beneath us is what I would have to imagine would be considered, if not the center of the city, sort of the tourist center, in that I believe the Visitors Bureau is here in this building that in the center of the shot at the moment. And this is a major convention center. I'm not sure if this is the main convention center in Salt Lake City, but it's certainly large enough there. Looks like a huge array of solar panels mounted there on the roof. I believe there's a contemporary art museum here, part of the same complex. Looks like some relatively historic buildings here. And of course a Marriott hotel. And I've forgotten the name of the mall just beyond the Marriott, but as you can see there's a Nordstrom there. It's a rather large complex for downtown center. Now, of course, one of the things that Salt Lake City is perhaps most known for is for the headquarters of the Church of Latter-day Saints, what some people may refer to as the Mormon Church. I believe this is Temple Square. We're actually on North Temple Street or North Temple Square Street, and that is the temple itself. I'm surprised to see it encased in scaffolding. Perhaps I'll Google more about that later. And I know that as part of the same complex, there's some museums and the Genealogy Center, which the LDS Church is famous for. And I believe that dome structure hiding behind this high-rise building is the tabernacle. There's also the Zion's Bank, which is very much, as I recall, a part of the history of the church, although it was founded by Brigham Young and owned by the church until, I believe, the 1960s. And I'm sure the current ownership has many connections with LDS. Now, up the hill there at the base of the mountain, or partially up the mountain, is, I believe, the Capitol building of the state of Utah. And not much else to point out here. There's a lot of refining capacity here in the Salt Lake area. I believe that is the Marathon refinery, and it looks like it goes on forever, but I believe just beyond that refinery is the Chevron Salt Lake refinery, which furnishes all of the jet fuel to the airport, SLC, which I believe we have a view of. Should be right there in the center of the camera. And speaking of airlines, there's the Delta Center, which is where I imagine the Utah Jazz still play, and perhaps the hockey team, I'm presuming, as well. So, very nice, impressive view overall. Well, that does it for this walkthrough of a Corner King room at the Hyatt Regency in downtown Salt Lake City. If you should have occasion to stay at this hotel, or if you have a comment about this room, feel free to comment below. Otherwise, happy, safe travels. Until next time, March W13 out.